What is up, folks? It is your host, Nick Anderson, also known as Amongst the Whiskey, and today I am joined by the legendary ace author, Jes Smyth. Once again, has been on the YouTube channel before, several episodes. Jes is here for a writer's retreat, Amongst the Whiskey writer's retreat, and I thought, what better version of palate calibration could we do than sip some hyper-aged whiskeys? We got a killer lineup to taste through today. You excited?
I'm so excited. Yes.
Palate calibration can ensue.
Yes.
So for this lineup, we have a beautiful array of whiskeys. We have the Russell's Reserve 15-year, the Old Fitzgerald 17-year, Found North Batch 3 17-year rye whiskey, 2024 George T. Stagg 15-year bourbon, the Heaven Hill 18-year bourbon as well. And why not wrap it up with a Michter's 25-year bourbon and the 2024 Four Roses limited edition. Yeah, we got some good sipping to do.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work. A lot of work.
You think we're going to be able to stand up when we finish this flight?
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. We did light pours on everything. About a half an ounce, maybe 3/4 of an ounce, probably closer to half an ounce. And if we have to, we'll use the spittoon. You ready to get tasting?
I'm ready. I'm really excited.
Jes is doing this completely blind. I have chosen her as our expert taster here because I'm a little bit under the weather. My palate's not super sharp right now. Yours is. So Jes is going to give us all of her favorite pours, her tasting notes, her ranking at the end of this video. At this point, I'm going to show you what each of the glasses are so you can follow along. If you would like to do this blind with us, skip over about 30 seconds. In the first glass, KO Distilling. In the second glass, it is blank. Third glass is the Amongst the Whiskey Glen. Fourth glass, Mass Bourbon Alliance. Fifth glass, Pursuit Spirits. Sixth glass, Old Carter. And in the seventh glass, Michter's. Just before we get into this, do you have a favorite that you think is going to be number one from this lineup?
The 2024 George T. Stagg, I feel like, is going to be hard to beat.
I might have hyped that one up a little bit.
You wrote a very nice review on it. I am a Four Roses fan. So Four Roses, I'm hoping will be up there. And I'm curious about the Michter's 25-year. I had it earlier in the year with you, had some mixed feelings on it. So I'm curious how it's going to stand up in a blind. Yeah.
Perhaps it's changed with time and oxygen.
Yeah.
Bottle's a little bit lower than it was.
Yes. So.
Well, let's get to it. We're going to start with glass one, KO Distilling. On to the thoughts. Cheers. This is almost semi-blind to me, too. There's so many glasses here, I'm a little lost as to what I even poured. So I know what's in these. I can reference what we're experiencing as we're going. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to let Jes speak to this as blind as possible.
It's obviously got good age on it.
Wow, something from the hyper-aged blind has good age on it. No, that's a fair assessment. Not all of them may present overly woody.
Yeah, this one definitely has more of the oak, like the brighter oak, I would say. Maybe even a touch vinegar, slightly.
Some hyper-aged whiskeys can do a vinegar note. I've certainly noticed that on hyper-aged whiskeys before. Do you want to nose all the way through before you do any sipping? Kind of do a nose flight and then a taste flight?
Yeah, maybe do that. Yeah.
I like that. That's the way I usually taste. When I'm doing barrel picks, that's what I'll do.
Number two.
You ready to move on the nose for Clear Glen, glass two?
Ooh, it's different.
It is different.
Still got a good age on it.
I did not pour two of the same whiskeys in two different glasses. This is a different whiskey.
I'd say that this one has more citrus on the nose.
Okay.
Yeah. And still just that pungent oak.
Yeah.
A little chemically. A little polishing, like oil for wood, almost.
Like a varnish?
Yeah, varnish. Yeah, thank you. I like it.
She likes it.
Yeah.
Little hand wringing on to the Amongst the Whiskey, third glass.
This one's deeper, richer, not so like in your face oak, almost confectioner's sugar, a little bit of like dark chocolate going on.
Okay.
Oh, I really like this one a lot.
Certainly seems like it's speaking to you.
It's really lovely. This one I really, really like. I really like that nose. Did you put in a fake super aged one? Did you put your infinity barrel in here?
There are 7 glasses and there's 7 bottles behind us. I don't think there's a dupe.
Okay. You could have duped one though. You could have. You could have been like, here's George T. Stagg, but it's actually my infinity barrel. I bet you did.
On to glass 4. The Mass Bourbon Alliance Glen.
Okay. This is weird.
This is weird.
This is weird.
Immediately calls it weird.
It's very different from the Amongst the Whiskey Glen.
Sure.
They're like night and day. This is like, Amongst the Whiskey was like silky, silky dessert. This is like you go into an old hotel and there's like old carpeting going on.
Yeah.
And there's like these really old chairs that look super worn. This is what this is. That's what that
Is this like museum quality
It
whiskey?
It is. You would walk into a museum and this is what they would be serving. Like
That's
a super
great.
bougie museum. Like
Oh,
a
that's
whiskey
great.
museum.
Sure.
They should serve booze at a whiskey museum.
That's a brilliant idea.
I think we should open up a museum. You have enough bottles to open up a museum.
That's true.
This is weird.
Okay.
I kind of think, no, I'm not going to say what it is, but it's weird enough for me to think something.
You can guess as much or as little as you want. If you're thinking like, oh, I'm thinking this is definitely a bourbon, or I'm thinking this is the oldest, or I'm thinking this is the youngest, like throw out whatever you want.
I think this is a 25-year.
You think this is 25 year?
Yeah, maybe.
That is up to you to guess,
That
and
one
to
looks
you
pretty
to
good.
find out later.
Okay, yes. No more guessing.
You can guess.
I just did.
Okay, good.
Okay.
On to 5th glass for nosing, Pursuit Spirits Glen. For those that didn't catch that whisper, she said, "The fuck is this?"
I don't swear. I'm a lady.
What do you got?
This is like old ass pear. Or
Old?
something.
Is that an ass pear? Is that a pair of asses? Is that a type of pear like Anjou ass?
No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. No, it's definitely got like a fruity weirdness happening. That's a word I'm using a lot. But yeah, I would say it's more pear. Not as much oak. Definitely not as much oak, so it might be one of the younger ones.
Sure.
Sweeter. I like it.
Like it.
Old ass pear.
Old ass pear. Going a little nose blind here.
Yeah, you gotta smell. I thought
All the tricks of the trade. Now you're learning all of amongstthewhiskey.com's writers' tricks. We smell ourselves when we go nose blind.
we had a whole session earlier today.
On to the 6th glass, Old Carter.
What is this? This is boozy.
Okay, my face was totally a tell because my eyes went.
It is boozy. Where's the oak?
It's
Oh, this is boozy, but not in a bad way. It's just there's not, compared to the first one that we smelled. This is like, I wouldn't know that it's hyper aged.
sure.
Yeah, it's fruity. It's boozy. It's sweet. It's gentle. It's not. Yeah, it's not like kicking me in the nostrils.
Just instantly big though. Like
It's instant. It's.
I think both of our eyes
huge.
went wide as
Yes.
soon as we nosed it. Yeah.
It's got a lot. It's like a big fluffy pillow of loveliness. I like that nose.
Yeah.
It's just very different from the ones we've been smelling.
Yep. And the last glass, Michter's.
There's the oak. That's definitely hyper aged.
Hyper-aged for sure.
Did you put Michters in Michters?
No tells.
What do I get if I'm right? A flight of super hyper aged.
You get a flight of hyper-aged whiskey. You get to remember it. I won't use the mind eraser from...
Oh, from what's the movie?
What was that movie? Aliens? It's got aliens in it. Men in Black.
Yeah, everybody watching is like, come on.
Spit it out! Men in Black, of course!
And just to note, we have not drank anything yet.
We haven't had a
folks.
sip, nope.
Nope, none. Zero.
What are you thinking on the nose here?
If this was like Old Carter, was super robust and like kind of like a rainstorm into your face, this is like the desert. It's coming off drier for me in comparison to the Old Carter. It just smells old. It smells old.
Yeah. Of all the glasses so far, which one is calling out to you to sip first? The Amongst the Whiskey glass. You're thinking that's the one that you really want to sip.
I want to sip them all. What are you talking about?
Well, I think we should still sip in order, but that's...
Absolutely.
I thought I would ask that question because it's... Like,
yeah.
which nose called to you the most?
Probably it's a tie between, I would say, Amongst the Whiskey and Old Carter.
Okay.
But Amongst the Whiskey, that one just made me talk.
Yeah.
And you know that's good whiskey when I can talk-ish, kind of.
Talks to you.
When it talks to you and then you have to, like,
And
translate.
you translate it out. That's what we do. That's what we do as whiskey writers.
Translate.
All right.
Lost in translation, yes.
Are you ready to get to sipping?
Yes.
This is going to be a wild ride.
Okay,
There's no going back from here.
I'm ready.
On 4th.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's got a savory note to it.
Okay.
It has a savory note. And you're not going to like it.
What's the savory note?
It's like a cheese.
Cheese? It's got what type of cheese?
Parmesan cheese.
It's a Parmesan cheese.
It's a Parmesan cheese.
A little bit of funk to that?
A little funky. Yeah. Whoa. Not that I meant to go back to the nose, but now the nose is like super papery.
You can go back to the nose. Post-sip nose is what we do.
Yeah. I was just wanted to see if the palate and the nose were kind of like meshing together. Now it's really papery though.
Are they meshing together?
I don't know. It's very approachable. I don't think it's super, super aged. I know that it is a hyper-aged whiskey in some regard, but it could be a blend of something.
It's feeling blendy.
It's feeling blendy. It's got a nice, it's citrus and chocolate too.
Citrus and chocolate.
Citrus and
Those
chocolate.
the dominant two?
Yes, I would say.
Very good.
Yes. But it's not super speaky to me. It's approachable.
Approachable.
And when I say approachable, that just means like, someone walking down a sidewalk and they're like, hey, and you're like, hey, I don't know you, but thanks for the hi.
I can say hi.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Nice.
Any guesses on whiskey style here?
No.
Okay. Fair. Thought I'd ask.
Do you have any guesses?
I know what it is!
You said you forgot.
I know what it is, having tasted it.
The
Ready
blank
to
one.
move on?
Yes, blank one.
Palate cleanses in between, folks. Palate cleanses are important. Another thing you'll learn at Amongst the Whiskey University.
It's a university now. Thought it was a retreat.
If you take enough retreats, you end up with a degree.
It's fine as long as do blinds. It's fun.
Blinds are fun. On to clear glass?
Yes.
Let's do it.
That gave me some dusty vibes.
Dusty vibes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely got the oak.
That's a good note. Dusty vibes is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
With how many Dusties we've
Yeah.
enjoyed at certain tastings throughout the last year,
Yeah.
we've had some really good Dusties. So, parallels to Dusties are usually a good thing.
It's peppery too. A little pepper. It's sweet and peppery and a little dusty.
Interesting. Because that's kind of oxymoron. Peppery and dusty.
Sweet.
Because most Dusties aren't peppery.
Peppery, right? But that finish is definitely. Do you get pepper?
Black pepper.
Yeah.
Allspice, touch of anise.
But the beginning reminded me of some of the dusties that we've had this year, for sure.
Sure.
So I don't know if that's just
Relative to previous glass.
I like the blank one better than the KO right now. Yeah.
Very good.
Second sip is less dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mellowed out.
Any guess on a whiskey style there?
Like what type of whiskey brand?
No. Like bourbon rye, light whiskey.
Bourbon.
There's no light whiskeys in this lineup.
I was going to
just
say
for the
there's no
record.
light whiskeys.
You're thinking that's bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
High rye, mash bill, maybe.
Ooh, even getting specific on mash bill. I like this kind of guess.
A little peppery.
Very good. And liked the clear better than KO.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That will be helpful for determining your lineup, your ranking, your power ranking once you've got through them all.
I still like this nose a lot.
The nose on
I
Amongst the
wasn't
Whiskey?
even listening. What did you say? I wasn't listening.
The nose was so captivating on the Amongst the Whiskey glass. She got lost. Ears turned off. Palate, cleansing. The beauty of the bubbly water, the high mineral bubbly water too, is you also get hydrated as you go. It's great.
Yeah. Win-win.
On to the Amongst the Whiskey glass, which had a spectacular nose, I would agree with you.
Yeah? Okay, we got cheers. It's your glass. You got cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, a little kick at the end there. That is very well integrated. You can taste the oak, you can taste the sweetness, and then it flows into like that really nice shimmering pepper spiciness all the way down, but it's not punching you in the face with one or the other. It's all like coming together, like a choir singing.
Nice.
It's a choir.
I love that.
That's lovely. And the
So-
nose and the palate, completely.
Cohesive.
Are singing together.
Very good.
Yes. This
Is it like a Christmas choir?
It is a Christmas choir. That's totally what I had in mind was Christmas choir. But like not the annoying Christmas carols, like the very old type of Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Yes. No Mariah Carey. This is not Mariah Carey whiskey.
No Mariah
I don't
Carey.
think she actually
No.
drinks whiskey. Does she drink whiskey?
Maybe for an ad.
For an ad.
Yeah. For a price, I'm
a
sure she
price.
would.
That's Beyonce. Come on.
Oh. Too soon.
Too soon. This will be a hard one to beat.
I feel like you're stuck on this one. You just want to keep going back to it.
Well, I only had one sip. I want a second one.
Oh, let's. Good. We're saving liquid for revisitations too.
That's gonna be a tough one to beat. You're giggling. It's making me wonder what's in there. What's in there?
I don't know. I'm just as blind as you.
No, you're not.
This is fun.
All right, what's next?
Ready to move on.
Yes.
Palate cleanse. Next glass. Mass Bourbon Alliance, MBA.
There's got to be a lot of citrus in that because it's not jiving with me. Yeah. Citrus is one of those notes that, like, I can handle, but man, if it's one of the main ones, it's hard for me.
Yeah.
And that's definitely citrus forward for me.
Not overpoweringly so. I definitely get a orange creamsicle vibe to
It's
it.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orange. Orange?
Orange. How did I say?
Orange?
Orange.
Orange.
It's not orange.
I say orange.
You do. You're so weird. And this is coming from someone with a Chicago accent, guys.
Oh,
Orange,
too good.
Orange.
You should give it another taste.
I really
before
don't want to. What was it, MBA? Okay.
Yeah. You gave everything else 2 tastes so far.
It's fair.
Due diligence here.
Okay.
Not lending. Shaking her head. She's shaking her head, folks.
Not a fan.
This one is getting dumped out.
It's still. You don't dump this old whiskey.
Not getting
I'll still enjoy it. It's probably not doing well in the lineup amongst the others.
Sure. In proximity to some others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh,
So
and
you-
that linger. Compared to the other ones, it's just like I'm in a field licking hay.
Oh! Not the hayfield. Oh. Gonna get put out to pasture at this point.
I can't with it. Not
She
driving.
can't even with it. Okay. MBA is going to the bottom of the pile, folks. You think that was below the KO?
Yeah, for sure. That's the lowest right now. I'm even going to write it down. I have a paper.
Some extra notes. A good writer is always taking notes.
That's my note.
Part of the reason why I had you come on as a contributing writer for AmongstTheWhiskey.com. I respect the way that you always take notes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you've got plenty of notes on all these pours. You've been incredible so far.
You're so good. Hyper-aged whiskey.
Everybody can see it. On to Pursuit.
Pursuit, which doesn't have compared to the other ones, that color's pretty
Telling?
telling.
Perhaps. And this is definitely a nose that stuck out for you too.
In a
Recall.
good way or a bad way?
You knew it was different.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Confusion. Visible confusion from Jess.
It doesn't taste hyper-aged at all.
Interesting.
It is very cinnamon, clove, allspice forward. Like, that is what is punching me on the tongue right now,
Okay.
which is fine. But it's in this lineup, it's sticking out like a sore thumb. It's delicious.
Is that the color speaking to your brain, or is that your taste buds?
It is my taste buds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
She's
absolutely.
good.
It's
She can,
all- yeah.
she can trust her taste buds.
Yeah, it's absolutely my taste buds.
That's the sore thumb.
That's a sore thumb.
In a way that is just different, or do you not like it?
It tastes a little disjointed.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how cohesive that is for me.
So, like a blend?
Yeah, it might be a blend. Yeah, it might be the Four Roses. Being the youngest in the batch, we will find out.
We've got guesses flying around here, folks. I agree with you on how it stands out in relation to everything else.
I think.
All right, on to our 6th pour in the Old Carter glass. Cheers to you.
Cheers. That is fantastic. That nose and that palate are just slow dancing together. Oh, and it's got a really nice finish. It like tingles my tongue right now. Oh, it's really, really lovely. And Nick is having a moment.
I can't even pretend. I can't even pretend not to love this.
Did you just give it away?
That's so good. No, I just really enjoyed that sip.
Says the Stagg man. This is fantastic. I already know that it's going to come down to, I mean, obviously we still need to drink the Michters, but
Yep.
based on how I felt about the nose, I won't speak too soon. We'll wait. We'll give the Michters glass a fair chance.
Okay. But obviously, you had a really good experience. Like, your reaction to that was visceral. It was a visceral reaction to that pour.
Yes. This is so good. I don't even have words.
It's so good.
This is stupid good. All right.
And that was the infinity barrel I snuck into the lineup, folks. She loves the infinity barrel the most. Look at what we did. We pulled the wool over her eyes. She's freaking out. The infinity barrel, the #1 whiskey of all time.
I do think you snuck in your infinity somewhere. Okay.
You think I snuck the infinity in there?
That seems like a very Nick thing to do. Okay, last one. I'm ready to go. I want to know what these are.
What are you in a rush for?
Because I want to know.
Gosh. That's the joy of being the person that knows what you're sipping versus the person that's blinded. And on to glass 7 out of the Michter's glass. Let's go. Did I just see a snarl on your face?
That is so oaky.
So oaky.
Oh, man. That is like just if you were to like blend up a barrel stave and like get the juices out of the barrel stave. That would be it. It's just punching you in your like where's all I taste is oak.
Oak for days, folks.
It's like eating a tree. Drinking a tree.
Do you think we should make a new word for so oaky?
Yeah, what should it be?
Soaky. That came out way too fast. How did I have that just like ready? That's what happens when you get the Amongst the Whiskey writers together.
You're making my face hot. It is soaky, not to be confused with sake.
Not sake.
Sake.
Sake is very good. That is its own category, its own note, its own world of flavor.
It literally is completely not whiskey.
Do you believe that all spirits have their own world of flavor, their own flavor tree?
No, I think they overlap.
There's overlaps.
Yeah, I think there's overlaps.
What do you think the most overlapping alcohols are to whiskey?
Wine.
Wine has the most overlap?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Ready for a second sip?
Yes.
Let's do it. Soaky?
I mean, second sip does give me a little bit more
Character.
character. It's definitely rich. Dark chocolate. Lots of dark chocolate right now.
Oh, that sounds like you would like it.
I know, but it's just if there was more of that and less of the soaky.
Much oak.
I think it would be more enjoyable. There's a lot of oak going on.
Too much oak.
I think we've established that pretty solidly.
Too much oak.
So what now? What do we do?
From here, I think we should go back down the lineup.
Okay.
So taste it basically in reverse order.
Okay.
And from there, I think you will have enough information to formulate your lineup.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, back to Old Carter.
Okay.
I fucked up. I missed a pour from this lineup.
You what?
I missed a pour from this lineup.
What do
There
you
was
mean?
supposed to be one more pour in this lineup.
What pour?
Redbreast 30 year.
Shit.
We'll have to finish up the tasting with a taste of that.
What? Yep. Yeah. Be like, out of all of these, actually, this is the winner.
It's a shame. I meant to put the Redbreast 30 in there.
That would have stuck out.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would have, because first of all, it's Irish, and if this is all not,
It could have had a place. I don't know.
we'll never know. We'll never know. No.
Blame it on Amongst the Whiskey. He forgot a pour out of a 7-glass hyper-aged whiskey tasting. He forgot the 8th glass, the 30-year Redbreast Dream Cask. Are you kidding?
I think we would have been able. Yeah, I think it's fair. It's fair that it's not in here.
If you guess at least one of the glasses right, we'll do a pour of the Redbreast 30-year Dream Cask.
I will.
Oh, she's confident. All right, on to Old Carter.
I don't need to retaste Pursuit, but I will.
You don't think you need to retaste? Is that because it's last?
It's most likely.
Okay.
And right now, that nose just smells like black licorice.
Yeah.
To be fair to all the other ones.
To be fair to the glass. To be fair to the whiskey. I'd be interested what you think of this one on its own, not in this lineup. I think I agree with your sentiment from earlier that it sticks out like a sore thumb in the lineup. I would really love to see what you think of this on its own.
I would too, because I'm worried that it might be one that I would want to be very good. I'll write down what I think it is. To be revealed later.
Maybe she will get a second taste. That is the beauty of comparative tastings, though, is sometimes whiskeys that are objectively very good, when you put them next to other whiskeys, sometimes they just don't land. I have certainly found that in my many years of whiskey tasting, and I think I would agree with Jess here that this one is one that is better served on its own, and it suffers in the flight that was procured here.
Yeah.
Lesson learned for me.
MBA.
Now back to NBA. Your face says dud. Clang-a-lang.
Well, it's this lovely pen.
Oh, that's actually a wonderful gift. That is from our Spirit Animal Society friends, Mike and Jesse. Mike actually runs a lathe, and he turns pens.
Yeah, it's neat.
There it is for you. Take it with me everywhere I go. Are you thinking that's on the lower end?
Yes.
That's just, did not seem like you were driving with that one.
No. I liked it more than the Pursuit glass, though.
Okay.
So that's, It's interesting to go from, like, in reverse order.
Yeah.
Because it is making me second guess some of my initial thinking.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice to do it in a different order.
Yeah.
And with that, we will move back to the Amongst the Whiskey, Glenn. What are you finding?
Loveliness.
The pen is coming out.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's really lovely. Shimmers across my tongue. That
It's
is just
shimmering.
dancing
Yep.
on my tongue. Absolutely dancing on my tongue.
It's really good.
And I don't even remember what it is.
It's really good.
It's just dancing on my tongue. It's wonderful.
I'm lost in thought because I'm thinking about Old Carter and the Amongst the Whiskey Glen. Because they
trying
are
to figure out.
They're neck and neck right now.
Well, that's why we still have a little liquid left. That
Yeah.
can be your final.
I think it's going to have to be my
side.
final.
You have to taste them, that one,
Yes.
then that one.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen.
Woo! We are forming a sick lineup here, folks.
Okay, blank.
Blank Glen. It's a
It does not do well following the Amongst the Whiskey. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't you... cheater, pumpkin eater.
The only person that can cheat here is
It's
you,
you.
who doesn't know the blind order. I know everything.
You know everything.
I know all. I am omnipresent.
Okay, last one.
Amongst the Whiskey is everywhere.
Yeah, you are.
Last glass. KO Distilling.
Yes. I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm not mad at that either.
No, that's really nice too. It does better at the end.
So, oddly, I think you said that clear was better than
Yes.
KO.
Yeah.
And now are you saying KO is better than
KO's
clear?
better than clear.
Shows you that proximity tasting is a little
Yeah.
bit subjective of order and what you're tasting, what you're sipping in between. Are you doing palate cleansers? All of these things play a big role in tasting whiskey, so be very skeptical of people that do very large scale flight tastings and their orders. Why I think our reviews stand out against the crowd is that we are doing all of our tastings on fresh, sober palates. We're cross-referencing with memories of thousands of whiskeys that we've tasted and formulating just a very fair rating scale.
Yeah.
If it is middle-of-the-road whiskey, you got to be in the middle of the road of the scale.
Yeah.
So middle-of-the-road whiskey gets a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think these are kind of competing for somewhere in the middle then, though.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
100%. And I think that's probably why they're flip-flopping is because they're similar in middle of the rating scale.
Interesting. Knowing that you rated this higher before, and this lower before, and now this higher before, and this lower before, where would you think overall you would rate the two relative to each other?
Against each other?
Yeah. If it's these two in a cage match, KO Distilling versus Clear Glen, who is the champion glass? You've
think-
rated both
I think-
ahead of the other.
KO.
KO is better.
I think KO, based on that last sip.
Okay.
And having tried all of, I know it's not against, this hypothetical is not against all of them, but yeah, I would say KO.
Okay, cool. I like it. KO was our first sip pour, too.
It
So that
was.
was like us warming up, us
Yes.
getting our legs under us, our sea legs under us.
Yeah.
Are you ready to rank? Are there any glasses you want to revisit to help with your ordering?
Yes. I need to taste Michter's again.
Okay.
I don't know where I'd put that one yet. And probably do it against KO.
Okay. Let's see what the side-by-side reveals. Nosing between the two? What are you thinking?
Yeah. They're very different.
They are very
They're
different.
very different. But they're kind of like head-to-head with where I'm rating them, so...
Would you say fighting for a middle-of-the-pack kind of rating?
Yeah. Yeah. I think KO, I still like this nose a little bit better. I do. Okay, I'm going to try this new Michter's. That has gotten really nice hanging out in the glass. That has definitely evolved since we've started this tasting. So that might just be, I mean, I taste
With a lot of air.
Yeah, I taste a lot of loveliness now in that glass. That taste alone puts it above KO. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't need to taste the KO glass.
And I think, like our Pursuit Spirits glass, I think this one is also one that does better on its own than it does in a comparative tasting.
Yeah. Let me write this down. Okay. So now I need to do Amongst the Whiskey glass and Old Carter. These are the two that one of these is going to be number one.
We are fighting for first place here, folks.
This nose is just like a soft pillow that you fall into at night. This nose is really nice too. I think I like this nose a little bit better though. I think
You
I
like the
this
nose
one
on Old Carter better?
It's got a little bit more just like, I don't know, volume.
It does, yeah.
Just volume.
Yeah, if the knob goes to 11, it's on 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to sip the Old Carter. This is like thigh slapping whiskey. That's all I've been doing. It is.
Thigh slapping whiskey, folks.
Thigh slapping whiskey. That is what that is.
That is a new rating. That is a new rating scale item on the Amongst the Whiskey rating scale. That's a thigh slapper.
You know what I'm talking. Everybody knows what I'm talking about because you get that whiskey and you're just going like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, with you on the Amongst the Whiskey rating scale, would you put this at a 5 out of 5?
Yes.
Old Carter?
Oh yes.
It's a 5 out of 5
Yes.
whiskey.
It's a 5. I think, but this is really nice too, though.
Amongst the Whiskey, Glen?
Mm-hmm. It is Old Carter, but they are so close. It's Old Carter, though.
Very close?
Yeah.
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 That's quite good.
It's very close.
That's quite good.
Old Carter is number one, though.
Old Carter is number 1.
The Old
All
Carter
right.
glass, yes.
Well, dang. You ready to reveal all your rankings
I'm
then?
so ready.
You've just revealed your number 1. Old Carter is number 1, folks.
I'm so ready. And Amongst the Whiskeys, number 2, runner-up.
Runner-up, the Amongst the Whiskey glass, number 3.
That was Michter's.
The Michter's glass is number 3.
Yeah. 4 was KO.
4th place, KO.
And then the blank was 5.
5th place, blank.
MBA was 6.
Mass Bourbon Alliance, 6th place.
No surprise. Pursuit is last. Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7, Pursuit, last place. In this blind tasting. Are you ready for the reveal?
I'm so ready. You've asked like 5 times. It feels like 5.
Where are my answers? My answers are missing.
They're in your phone that you threw on the bench.
Okay, here I have the answers. Your first place was what?
Old Carter.
The Old Carter glass. Everybody that has looked at the spoilers knows what it is. But the Old Carter glass was 2024 George T. Stagg.
That's fucking awesome. Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me keep that NFC tag on there.
No surprise.
No surprise. You're not.
I am.
You
no.
think that was? You said that was going to be your number 1. 2024 George T. Stagg.
Yeah. And
Going
I
in,
thought
expecting.
I thought that glass was George T. Stagg.
The blind proves all, folks.
I'm just gonna go take this.
I'll be taking that. Thank you.
Tried.
Your second place glass was the Amongst the Whiskey glass?
Yes.
She's got good taste, folks.
It's your infinity, isn't it? Oh, the 18?
Second place was Heaven Hill 18 year. This one was kind of controversial. People thought that the 17 was better. I kind of agreed. I think they just had different times and places.
Yeah.
Obviously a great bourbon for you to have it as your second place in this blind.
Take that one too.
Hey,
Hey, what?
you were supposed to guess one if you were going to get your
I know.
Redbreast 30th.
I think Pursuit is 4 Roses.
You think Pursuit is 4
Yeah,
roses?
I do.
Do you want to guess any of the other ones? Is that like your most confident answer?
I think maybe the blank was Russell's 15.
Blank Russell's 15. You thought Pursuit Spirits was 4
4
roses.
roses.
Any other guesses?
Not that I could do, because I'm so excited that number 1 was George T. Staggs.
Would you have guessed that?
I would have. The nose was a little telling, because you get that Buffalo Trace nose a little, obviously.
We'll count it.
Yeah. You're going to count it, really?
Your third place was?
The Michter's glass, which I think is Michter's, actually.
Michter's glass you thought was Michter's.
Yes.
It's not Michter's.
Oh, really?
Third place glass was
Russell's.
15.
Well, I got a lot wrong there.
You really thought that was Michter's?
I did.
Because you thought it was over oaked.
Yeah.
You really thought it was over oaked.
Okay.
But you also rated it highly. Because you had kind of a first visceral reaction, and then you thought it improved greatly.
It did. And that's so funny because we were talking about this bottle earlier and how it has done better with oxidation.
But also why I couldn't give it a 5 out of 5 in
Yeah.
comparison to the Russell's 13.
No.
I think at times it is over-oaked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. I thought it was the 25-year Michters. Okay, then. This is fun.
Your fourth place glass?
My fourth was, what was it? Oh, KO.
The KO glass. Interesting. 17-year-old Fitzgerald. I think that's solid. That is probably one of my favorites, maybe behind the 13-year very, very special release that just came out. That is probably one of my favorite old Fitzes that they've released. Fourth.
Am I going to get any of these right? Well, I got George T. Stagg.
Your fifth place glass?
That was the blank one.
Blank.
Yeah. And what did I say I thought that one was? Oh, Russell's 15, which is not. It's probably Michter's 25. Oh, Four Roses. I got nothing right.
Fifth place is the 2024 Four Roses.
Woo, who is Michter's?
Who is Michter's?
All right. It cannot be Pursuit.
Folks.
It is not Pursuit. Are you serious? Okay.
Fifth place, 2024 Four Roses. Really, really good.
Yeah, I really like that, actually.
Your sixth place glass?
That was MBA.
MBA.
That's
MBA
the
was
Michter's.
Michter's 25 year.
Yeah.
Sixth place finish for the Michter's 25 year. That's the 2023
Yeah.
bottling?
Is it?
Yeah. 2023 bottling of the Michter's 25 year. I think similar to how we rated it early on, it hasn't really developed into an exceptional whiskey. It's at the tail end of this tasting.
Yeah.
And that leaves your seventh place finish to
Yeah.
Found North 17-year Batch 3 Rye. That has been open quite a while, so I wonder if it was just the proximity of a group tasting like this, or if it's just been open too long.
Yeah. It was different. It was very different.
I think that is one that you should taste on its own one day. We'll have to send Jess home with a sample.
Pull my arm.
Fantastic tasting. You did spectacular. Your notes were exceptional.
Oh,
I think you are just one of the best tasters in whiskey right now. So for us to be able to run through this lineup, I'm just stupidly grateful.
Yes, me too. Thank you. This is fun.
Are you going to shout it from the rooftops? Your top 7 ultra-aged whiskeys?
Yes. I'm just thrilled that it was George T. Stagg.
George T. Stagg is legit, guys. I've been
It's legit.
I've been
It's
shouting
legit.
this from all of my rooftops.
It is legit. I mean, with this lineup, yeah. Legit. So there you go.
I've been screaming it from the rooftops. I've put it in blinds. I've come to the same conclusion. It's one of the best whiskeys of all time. It's the best George T. Stagg I've ever had.
Yeah, it's really good.
So there you have it. The blind doesn't lie, folks.
Can I get more?
No. But I will count the fact that you got the George T. Stagg. And let's pull out an ultra-aged Irish. Let's do the Redbreast 30 Dream Cask. Why not?
Can we really?
Let's do it. Behind door number 1. Here, let me take that from you.
Thank you.
Behind door number 1, the Whiskey Study. And in this here book, we have Redbreast Dream Cask.
All the good stuff comes out of books.
Speaking of, all of your books are on the bookshelf behind us with the whiskey.
Sweet. You're right there. Right there.
I gotta say, this one is a pretty good author. She doesn't just write really good whiskey reviews, she also writes really good books. See how I put an S on books? You've got another one in the works, right?
I do, yeah.
How's that coming?
Not very good.
Struggling. Maybe because you're writing too many whiskey reviews.
I think you would... No, it's coming along. It is. It's just not as quick as the first two, which I think is to be expected, so... Look at that. It's so cute.
Little mini bottle here. The Redbreast 30-year Dream Cask. Which batch is this one? I don't remember.
I don't.
This is the 5th edition of the Dream Cask series. They just released, I think, is their final in 6. No. I might have to hunt that down because this is some of the best whiskey I've ever had. Closed door number 1. Got a glass?
No. You were in the room with glasses.
Yes, hello? I'd like to request 1 Glencairn, please. You don't do special orders? Fine, I'll get it myself. Alright, we procured one. We will do a pour of the 30-year Redbreast. I wonder if you might like this one more or less than George T. Stagg 2024.
Does that mean you have to pour more George T. Stagg?
She's always angling, isn't she?
This color is lovely.
It looks like leather.
It does. Oh.
And it drinks like silk. All right, Jess, what do you think on the Redbreast 30-year Dream Cask? This is an Irish whiskey. None of the rest were Irish whiskeys, obviously, so this is a bit of a curveball. What do you think?
For me, it's a lot of tropical fruit, like bananas and pineapples, and it's tropically. Mangoes.
I like it. That is more typical of what a hyper-aged Irish would produce, for sure.
Was it, what type of cask was, because it's a double cask, so what was the second one that was aged in? Was it a wine?
First barrel was a bourbon barrel, second one was Oloroso sherry.
That's right, okay.
And we're talking old Oloroso sherry
Yeah.
for it to be 30 plus years ago.
Yeah. You definitely get the age on it, but not in a overly oaked type of way. I honestly, just smelling this, I don't know if I would have been able to pick it out as an Irish in the lineup.
Sure.
Yeah.
You think with enough time, all whiskeys kind of converge on almost like an over-oaked profile?
Yeah, I think that is absolutely a great thing to conclude.
Yeah.
They're in there for 30 years. They're going to taste more like the barrel than anything else.
I certainly think that's possible.
A little bit like there's a car that's been idling in a garage, but not in a bad way. And like, you know, like just a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, yeah. When you start your car in the wintertime or whatever and it's in the garage and you pull out and you're like, wow, yeah, I should have probably pulled this out of the garage earlier.
So like a stale gasoline burning smell?
Yes, but with like a cool, crisp air too. Like there's a freshness to it too somehow. I don't know.
Okay.
That's why it's wintertime.
Very interesting.
Okay. Am I trying it? Yeah.
Try it. Let's see if it can overshadow the 2024 George T. Stagg.
I will taste George T. Stagg, but I know you can't compare it.
You cannot compare the two.
No.
They're both like equal mountaintops, the highest in their countries, their respective countries.
Yes.
Both pinnacle whiskeys.
But they're in different countries, literally. You can't.
Astute observation.
You cannot compare them. This is bourbon. That is Irish. Tasting it is definitely. It's just different. It's very different.
They're both the highest mountaintops in their respective countries. George T. Stagg and the 30-year Redbreast.
Yes. Let's go hiking.
We're going to the top of both mountains.
Yes. Sitting right here. No exertion necessary.
With very little effort, we are at the top of two mountaintops. That is the power of good whiskey. I will taste this Redbreast with you.
Yes. Be a disservice not to. Am I right or am I right?
It's so good.
Yeah. But you can't put it up against George.
I agree. It's the pinnacle of the Irish category, but twist your arm, you have to choose.
Twist my arm, I have to choose.
I know what my answer is. She's struggling. There's steam pouring out of her ears. You can't see it, but I swear there's steam pouring out of her ears.
I would choose George T. Stagg.
Me as well.
I would.
Me as well.
Yeah. I love this for its uniqueness and complexity.
It's lovely. I've had
I've
had whole days where that was the
yeah.
only pour I had.
Yeah.
And it has lasted me 8 hours.
Yes.
I would just, I
is-
could sit with that forever.
Yeah.
The Dream Cask Redbreast.
Yes.
I could sit with that forever.
But this
Yeah.
is thigh-slapping whiskey.
You heard it here, folks! Thigh Slapping Whiskey 2024 George T. Stagg. You can't beat it, folks! And tell your friends. When you heard it here, you tell your friends. You heard it on Amongst the Whiskey. Not, oh, my buddy George told me that it was good. No, amongstthewhiskey.com told you. Thigh Slapping Whiskey.
Thigh-slapping whiskey. Okay, that's fun. Yeah.
I gotta say, that was a spectacular tasting.
Yes.
Again, you did spectacular here.
Thank you.
So, kudos to you.
It's a lot of pressure to blind impeccable bottles of whiskey. Like, this isn't just like a fun little throwaway blind. This is like, yeah, the pressure, I felt the pressure.
It was very curated, yeah.
Yes.
It was supposed to be hyper-aged.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking everything kind of north of... The Four Roses was kind of the outlier with an
Yeah.
average age of 14.8 years. But everything was north of that. So, hyper-aged
Yeah.
whiskeys. Really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time, folks, keep it amongst the whiskey.